What is the one thing that sets successful people apart from others? Have you ever wondered what the one thing is that sets successful people apart from others? In fact, there could be many factors, but all of them are related to a single character trait or habit. If you're curious about why most people can't break out of the cycle of poverty, how to tell if a 4-year-old child will be successful or not, and what wealthy parents unconsciously teach their children, then keep on reading. We will answer these questions and more. You should watch the video until the end because you may have been exposed to this type of education as well. When we see a successful person, we tend to think they are intelligent, talented, or a sheer genius. Of course, this is true to some extent. However, research shows that the ability to delay gratification is the main reason that sets successful people apart from others. The ability to delay gratification is the ability to resist a smaller immediate reward in order to receive a larger reward later on. For example, it comes into play when you stop scrolling your Instagram feed and get back to work, stop watching YouTube and prepare for tomorrow's exam, or choose to go to the gym instead of a party at night. Research shows that the ability to delay gratification is associated with academic success, physical health, psychological health, and social competence. In the 1960s, Walter Mischel conducted an experiment at Stanford University. In an empty room with just 2 chairs and a table, the researcher offered a marshmallow to 4-year-old children and presented them with the following deal: I am going to leave the room, and you have 2 options. 1. You can ring the bell next to the marshmallow anytime you want and eat the marshmallow. Or 2. You can wait for me to come back about 15 minutes later and I'll bring you another marshmallow, so you'll win 2 marshmallows. Sounds like a good deal, right? The message was a small reward now or a larger reward later. So, what did the children choose? Some children couldn't resist and went to the marshmallow, while others were able to use the ability to delay gratification and win the promised 2 marshmallows. Mischel found that children could wait longer by using distraction techniques, closing their eyes, hiding under the table, singing songs, or imagining a pretzel instead of the marshmallow in front of them. Or they changed their thoughts by focusing on the similarity to cotton candy instead of the delicious taste of the marshmallow. Here's where the interesting part begins. Years later, in 1981, Mischel decided to revisit these children to find out how they were doing in life and whether his experiment could tell us something about them. Friends, I am taking a very short break in the video here. I wanted to tell you about our channel. On the Financial Utopia channel, we provide you with education on money, personal finance, and investment. If you're interested in improving your financial future, subscribe to my channel and click the like button if this video is helpful to you. I want to say that we have put hours of work into this video. We are a very new channel, so every comment, like, and subscription will make us a bigger family. Please do not withhold your support and join our family. Let's continue the video. The children who waited longer showed a range of advantages over their peers. They had higher SAT scores in adolescence, social competence, self-confidence, and self-worth, and were rated by their parents as more mature, better able to cope with stress, better at planning, and more logical in their thinking. Their chances of having behavioral disorders or high levels of impulsivity and aggression were lower. As adults, those with high delay of gratification abilities were less likely to have drug problems or other addictive behaviors or experience divorce. The experiment also showed an effect on body mass index. The longer a child could use the ability to delay gratification, a 0.2% decrease in body mass index was experienced 30 years later. On the other hand, children who couldn't wait long enough for the second marshmallow struggled to make friends in adolescence, had difficulty coping with stress, and had trouble focusing. So, if you can't wait for a second treat as a child, Does that mean you won't be successful in life? The answer is not definite. The situation is a bit more complicated. According to Walter Mischel's research, self-control or the ability to delay gratification is like a muscle. You can exercise it like any muscle in your body. You may not achieve great success right away, but you will succeed in the long run. Remember, the reward must have value to you. Without a meaningful reward, delaying or instant gratification doesn't work very well, because the reward is not a strong reinforcer of the desired behavior. In other words, if you want to use the ability to delay gratification, make sure you choose a bigger reward. Let's say you decided to save money to invest, but then Apple releases a new iPhone and you really want it. To resist the urge to buy the new iPhone, you need to show your brain in crystal clarity why saving that money will provide greater satisfaction later, for example, financial freedom. You must understand this very well, my friends. If you are patient and invest correctly, you will no longer have to save money for a phone. If you can make your money work for you, the phone of your dreams will be earned by the money working on your behalf. However, in 2018, Tyler Watts, inspired by Mischel's experiment, decided to redo the experiment and found that the ability to delay gratification was more related to the income level of the parents. If your parents are wealthy, you are more likely to wait for the second marshmallow and have a higher probability of being successful in life. But if you are born into a poor family, the chances of ringing the bell and eating the marshmallow are higher. There's a great article about this published by The Atlantic, but I'll summarize it briefly. Watts used 900 children, a much larger sample than the 90 children used by Mischel. He also chose a sample that represented the general population in terms of race, ethnicity, and parents' education level. They included factors that showed the child's socioeconomic background to be determinant in explaining children's ability to delay gratification and long-term success. They found very little evidence for the idea that children who managed to wait achieved better outcomes. Instead, the ability to wait for the second marshmallow is more related to the child's social and economic background. Therefore, this background is not the driving factor behind children's long-term success, but the ability to delay gratification itself. Here are the results of the experiment. Children who had mothers with a college degree and who waited for the second marshmallow were not better off in the long run, did not perform better in school or on tests, and were not even better in their behavior. The same situation was observed among children whose mothers did not have a college degree. However, when these two groups were compared together, children from wealthier households were significantly more successful while waiting for the second marshmallow compared to children from low-income households. This nicely explained the cycle of poverty. Researchers concluded that daily life for poor children offers fewer guarantees. There may be food in the refrigerator today, but not tomorrow, so there is a risk in waiting. And even if their parents promise to buy more sweets tomorrow, often that promise cannot be kept due to financial constraints. On the other hand, for children from families with better educated and high-earning parents, it is generally easier to use the ability to delay gratification. This is because experience shows that adults have the resources and financial stability necessary to keep their promises. And even if they can't get the second marshmallow, their parents will buy them other sweets. For poor children, the second marshmallow becomes unrealistic when the first marshmallow seems to disappear right under their noses. Many young people growing up in poverty work long hours and low-paying jobs to support themselves and their families in some way. While barely able to pay bills on payday, these young people still spend money on things like McDonald's or new clothes. Due to this upbringing, they remain in the cycle of poverty and unknowingly continue to make the mistakes that were taught to them. Other research shows that low-income parents are more likely than wealthier parents to give in to their children's sweet cravings. These findings suggest that poor parents try to spoil their children whenever possible, while wealthy parents tend to make their children wait for bigger rewards. Things like ice cream or chocolate may seem trivial, but they are the only luxuries that poor families can afford. For impoverished children, experiencing a small moment of joy today can make life happier, especially when more joy is not guaranteed tomorrow. This seems to resemble the poverty cycle that most people can never escape. Our goal with this video today was to approach financial matters from a psychological perspective. We know that the majority of our viewers believe that this poverty spiral is solely their fault. However, as can be seen, the situation is a bit different. As in the marshmallow example, some things are taught to us at a young age, which directly affects our decision-making mechanisms throughout our lives. Dear followers, we kindly ask you to review your daily decisions and determine whether or not this situation affects you. Remember, self-control or procrastination skills are like a muscle. You can work it like any muscle in your body. You may not achieve great success right away, but you will be successful in the long run. We can discuss how your decisions have been affected so far in the comments. That's it for today. If you have watched the video up to this point, please don't forget to like and join our family. Wishing you all beautiful days and abundant earnings.